e get issue wey if we no use this our Abira take talk and make Abira people dey hear but e dey pain because no be all of us go sabi the English wey we go wan talk. You don't understand? All those mad dogs wey dey do recall agenda, I no understand. Una no get sense. Una go dey small kene here. I no know whether Abira people, you know, so I don't talk as no be all Abira people, but all those useless he goats, all those she goats, una brain dey una leg. Now from leg una dey think, una no dey get sense. Una no dey get sense. Who now una go bribe this time may give Natasha best performance senator of the year 2024. All the project wey Natasha dey do, which of una senator don do am for una? Una no dey get sense. Mother, get out of my phone.
Alright guys, welcome back to Prospect Channels TV. Thank you for always having you here. You know, I've been asking myself this question: what exactly are we having this House of Assembly for? Or the Senate? What are they doing? What are their needs? Because with all the problems surrounding Nigerians today, they have nothing to offer. They can't even defend Nigerians for nothing. Nothing. These people are just there. This Apabio is the biggest mistake Tinubu made. And even Tinubu himself is a mistake, we understand. But this man is the biggest mistake ever in the Nigerian Senate. All the insecurity going on in Nigeria today, the poverty, the hunger. They are busy talking about who harass and who not harass. Who not go surprised to hear waiting this Apabio talk. Let's watch it.
You've been following the case of Natasha and Apabio, and if you have, what have you been learning from this case? A quick recap will tell you that the lady was asked to move to another seat and an argument ensued, blah, 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 and before you know it, she alleged that she was sexually harassed by the Senate president, and because of her action of declaring seat or whatever, she was suspended 6 months, which has never happened in the Senate. And because she was suspended, she took the fight. As far as I'm concerned, Senator Natasha is by far, for me, Woman of the Year. Hate her or like her, she is the Woman of the Year. Because this case has exposed a lot of things about this country, even though there are many outrageous things, but this one in particular exposed a lot of things. For instance, it exposed the fact that there are powers that be that determines what happens in this country. And if you go against this power, they will do everything to eliminate you. Not necessarily to unalive you, but to eliminate you. Now, when Natasha was suspended, she went abroad to, what's the name of that? Anyway, she took her case internationally. And she has persistently challenged the Senate president of her accusation. Now, I am not in a position to, say whether her accusation is right or wrong, or her accusations are right or wrong. The truth here is the drama that played in her recall. Now, a group of people orchestrated a scheme to recall her by claiming that over 240 electorates signed a petition to ask her to come back. Now, the place I want us to emphasize upon, and the particular place I want us to emphasize upon, is this place, INEC. Because a lot of people are saying that INEC is our problem, INEC is our problem. Yes, they are our problem, but then it's human beings that are operating that place. Now, INEC initially said that they were not interested in that case. And all of a sudden, they retracted and said that they will hear the case. Then later they said they will not hear again. Well, it will be a surprise to any Nigerians to say that INEC is going to go back to the case again. But the truth here is this. When they said 240 people appended their signature to recall Natasha back, even though it was a little bit above 50,000 that elected her to the Senate. Question is, where did we suddenly get 240,000 people that say, no, we didn't send you, come back. You didn't come out to a day that was designated for you to vote, but you became available to recall somebody back. Well, this lady Natasha said, okay, she's going to come back home to prove whether there are indeed people who want her back. Now, they knew the game was going to, her coming to Kogi State was going to, coming to a senatorial district was going to spoil whatever orchestration that was made. So the governor said, don't come. They banned all type of rally, blah, blah, blah. And then she took an helicopter. Sorry, I'm going to speak an helicopter. She took a helicopter from wherever she is to her place. That singular act endeared me to that woman. And then look at the crowd that came. Because if INEC had continued with the recall, the question would be, if you have 240,000 people that are asking this woman to come back, then where the hell did we get those people that are celebrating? Or are you telling me that those people who came to welcome Natasha in her constituent were two-faced hypocrites who, in one hand, are penning signatures to recall her, in one hand, again, they are rejoicing to be her representative? The truth is that I made a video asking Apabio to drop this matter or find a way to resolve this matter quietly, and he didn't listen. Perhaps this second video will pull his ear. See, that woman has defeated you in this imbroglio. She has defeated you. Accept this defeat honorably and allow sleeping dogs to lie. But the main lesson that you must learn from this Natasha's case is that when the people come together, no matter how conniving the powers that be is or are, they will succumb. So when I hear people saying that Tinubu, you couldn't remove Tinubu when he was not president, is it now that he's president that you want to remove him? Babangida stepped down. He's a military president. He stepped down. Jonathan was the president, they removed him. So don't give me this crap that because somebody, you've submitted this defeat to your mind to say that somebody is too powerful to be removed. I don't work that way. The truth is that nobody, no matter how dictatorial they are, no matter how powerful they are, can be stronger than the will of the people. Until the people realize that they can throw away their petty differences and come back and stand as one against all notable adversaries, the people will always come on top. That is the lesson to learn from the Natasha Apabio scenario. My name is Magnus Oraka.
We are a religious people, but by our conduct, we turn out to be highly ungodly. So what's the essence of religion if you are not godly? So let's be as godly, as religious as we have portrayed ourselves to be, and secure our society or our various communities, because without peace, there's virtually nothing reasonable or tangible that can be achieved. Sarkinyak in Kefi, I stand to support this motion and to say in supporting it that it is most unfortunate that in this day and age where people are planning to move to the planet Earth because of development, because of, development in all ramifications, we are still here killing ourselves, shedding human blood as if we are shedding the blood of mosquitoes. And we all know spiritually or religiously, where a people, continue to shed human blood the way it happens in Nigeria, there is no way anything good will happen to such a people. And this tells us or informs us or goes a long way to give us the reasons, to provide reasons for which all efforts put in so many areas seem not to be working. So for crying out loud, let's have that God that we all claim to serve. We are a religious people, but by our conduct, we turn out to be highly ungodly. So what's the essence of religion if you are not godly? So let's be as godly, as religious as we have portrayed ourselves to be, and secure our society or our various communities, because without peace, there's virtually nothing reasonable or tangible that can be achieved.
Distinguished Senator Emmanuel Udende. Mr. President, it is with some level of sadness that I have to stand up like other colleagues to speak on the state of insecurity across the country. Mr. President, you will recall that only recently we praised our armed forces on the efforts that have been made so far to abate the recurring incidents of arms attack. Mr. President, it is convenient for us to sit here and talk about suspected armed herdsmen. And you want to recall that this is not the beginning, this is not the start of herdsmen in Nigeria. The new dimension that has been added to this situation is the fact that these herdsmen don't just come to rear their cattle. They just come, kill, maim, and go away. And what it means, therefore, Mr. President, is that there is more to it than mere herdsmen. It means that there are foreign elements that are involved in this matter. And where they come from, their identity, remains a mystery. I think that even as metric as the situation looks like, a guerrilla war-like attacks, I think that more than using this kinetic method of force, we must identify deliberately the type of human beings that are perpetrating these acts across the country. Today we are talking about local government and various communities. But Mr. President, I want you to note that this thing is appearing to be occurring in most parts of the country. And so, while advocating for some proactive measures to prevent these acts, we must get to the roots of where these people are coming from. And they are raising the tar for constantly coming to kill people and going away. Until we address the root cause of these movements, Mr. President, we may continue to debate this issue of armed herdsmen attack without finding a solution. And so I want to sympathize with my brother who has had this unfortunate incident, but at the same time urge this Senate to go beyond mere attacking the incident and asking the armed forces to take actions and address the root cause of the problem of armed herdsmen attack. We're talking about, like I said, Logo today. In Benue State, the Agatu people are constantly under attack. The Apa people are constantly under attack. The Utukpo people are constantly under attack. And that is how it is virtually across the country. Mr. President, I think that we must do more than being aware of this situation and asking the armed forces to take proactive actions and go beyond that to say, let us find the root cause of these attacks. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Karimi.
Thank you. Some of my colleagues will travel to Morocco. And in Morocco, we travel from Marrakesh to Casablanca by road, a distance of around 300 kilometers in a bus. All along, we were asking ourselves, we never saw people moving cattle about. Cattle were kept in ranches. But in Nigeria, we see cattle moving all over the country. The solution is in our hand. We have decided as a nation to play politics with the security of this nation. If we want to solve the problem, we can solve the problem. In Morocco, you don't find such thing. In many parts of the world, in Nigeria, in Egypt, you won't find such thing. But in Nigeria, we allow it. We are elected to serve our people, and we have to do the best for our country. If we want to find solution to this cattle, others, and the citizens of this country, we can solve the problem. We call a national conference, put an end unto it. But if we want to continue to play politics and waste Nigerian resources, we just sit down and do nothing about it. If we want to find solution, stop all this movement of cattle all over the country. Those living in the forest, they will not have any place to live. That is the solution. Thank you.
The catechist and 17 worshippers in a mass on Sunday. The motion was brought to this Senate by Senator Barnabas Gamade. This thing happened at Gwe East local government area of Benue State. Ever since then, repeat killings have taken place in many local governments in Benue State. In Kogi, we have taken a motion from Kogi in this 10th Senate. In Uzowa local government area in Enugu State, these people have continued to kill people in their respective homes. I know that there was a hot debate in this chamber on what to do on the prompting of Senator Titus Zam. He has a bill on that matter. We also resolved that there should be a national summit to discuss how to stop this killing. This type of killing is rampant, and our country cannot continue knowing a problem. We play ostrich to the problem. We don't want to confront it. We don't want to take actions that will stop killing of citizens like in this manner. Look at what our brother Udende has just brought now. It's heart-rending. So many people have been killed, over 50, within the same axis, and we say they are herdsmen. We must find a way to solve our problems, because a nation that leaves a problem unsolved will be consumed by that problem. This is a constant menace among us. So I want to say that, Mr. President, all of us in this chamber and outside, we will not pretend not to know that these things are happening. Let us please stop bloodletting. Killing of people is not good, it's barbaric. Nobody can take human life in the manner they take it in this country. And when we say these are the people doing it, after we'll pass prayers in the emotions, and there is no deterrent to this thing happening again. Today it has happened again in Benue State. I want to commiserate with the people of Benue State, and indeed all Nigerians, over this merciless killing of people, particularly on a day of worship on Sunday, when people are not on guard, going to worship God, they'll be mowed down, and the motion will come here. This chamber is not a place to report deaths, because it's frightening. We don't need to be receiving these things. Let us take action. It's action that we shall take to stop this thing from happening. So, Mr. President, I pray that you will, under your leadership, take the appropriate actions. This thing should not continue every time people are killed. That we're informed by via emotion here. We'll pray for the repose of their souls. Next 1 month or 3 months, they will kill again. The same people killing. So we are frustrated. And I pray that Nigeria as a country must solve this problem of headers killing people in their ancestral homes. It's only when we do it that we put this problem behind. Otherwise, if no action is taken and the killings continue, there's no point informing us. So I'm so sad, Mr. President. That's why I stood up to speak again. Every time emotion like this came to this chamber, I've always stood up to speak against it. We must find a solution to it. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you have heard me.
Thank you. Let's give.
May God bless the souls of those who died.
Let's give Senator.
Their loyalty, their dedication, and their commitment to ensure that we eradicate insecurity in our country is commendable. However, it must not be about the armed forces alone. All of us has a role to play. We are all leaders in our different senatorial districts. We are all leaders in our communities. It is expected of us that should not be limited to carrying arms alone. It should also include us taking the responsibility of talking to our people in our different communities. The advocacy to ensure that we tell them the implication of what they are doing, are also commensurate with those who have lost their lives. May Almighty God have mercy on their souls. But it is important that we must not limit it to us coming here all the time to come and be commensurate with the people. We must take action. And as such, it is not, like I said earlier, it should not be limited to the armed forces alone. All of us has a role to play. We should continue the advocacy. We should ensure that issues that need to be reported are reported. And of course, I want also to charge the newly established Ministry of Livestock Development to know that this is part. Trying as much as possible to ensure that through the communities we are able to identify and list out those who are identify elders in our communities. This is one thing that will help us a great deal. Definitely, if we are able to identify these people, we're able to establish this. Through them, we will know the aliens, those who are coming from outside of the country to perpetrate evil in this country. I pray that Almighty God will guide us to ensure that this, at a point in the history of this country, is put behind us. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity.
Uncle Yayabelo, Your Excellency, if it is true that you took 2 billion naira to come and recall Natasha, shame on you. You have been governor for 8 years. As I speak to you, EFCC is alleging that you have a financial fraud amounting up to 110 billion naira. If this is true, I don't know. But let's assume that you even had that money, 110 billion naira, and now you are settling for 2 billion to stone your father's house, to destroy your constituency, to scatter your land of nativity. Don't you know that any fight against Natasha is a fight against the Ibira people? Are you not aware? Where yeah? Once beaten, twice shy is the English proverb. When Natasha and your candidate were contesting for this same Senate, how did it go? You didn't see the role the Ibira people played. You think we didn't love you at that time? We did, of course. To an extent, to an extent, yes, to an extent. For the fact that you are our brother, we have that love for you. We would have gladly wished to support your candidate if Natasha was not the opposition. But we cannot forfeit Natasha. She's in this. See, she's unmatchable. So, if it is true that you collected 2 billion naira to come and fight against the Ibira people, because the fight against Natasha is a fight against the Ibira people, shame on you. After 110 billion naira allegation, let's even assume that you didn't have 110 billion naira. But the governor for 8 years, there must be something you have to show for it. Should you become that poor, that 2 billion naira is why you want to fight your own self, because Natasha is your blood. Is why Apabio will buy you. Is that your what? Is that your price? Can 2 billion naira be your price? Can 2 billion naira be your price? See, every man has a price, oh. But I think that the Apabio should weigh more than just 2 billion naira. Especially that the fight has to do with himself. Fighting against yourself for just 2 billion naira is a disgrace, is a disappointment, if it was ever true. What are we becoming? Or what have we even become? I want to believe it's not true. No, Natasha and the rest, every other person alleging that Apabio collected money as small as 2 billion naira to come and fight against the Ibira people, I don't want to accept. I don't want to agree that a governor of 8 years who left office not up to 3 years ago, who left office just recently, I don't want to believe that he has become that poor, that poor, that poor, that excellency has become that temporal, drained to that level that 2 billion naira can make you bite your own finger. What you go to and then to fear what we they talk. I don't know what thing galas they talk for talking gala on swear there. But it's annoying. It's annoying. How? Bite your own finger for 2 billion and a former governor could do it if it is true. If it is true, then you are an embodiment of disgrace. The lion inside of you had suddenly turned to a lizard. I don't want to believe it's true, because if it is, words cannot express how disappointed I am. If it's true. How can Apabio collect 2 billion naira to come and fight Ukene, to come and fight Ibira land, to come and call back Natasha? You don't know if you touch Natasha's flesh, touch her like this, you are touching the whole of the Ibira land. You don't know. You are touching the youth, you are touching the women, you are touching children, you are touching the men. You don't know. You are touching music artists, you are touching comedians, touching content creators, you are touching pastors and imams, you are touching traditional heritage, traditional whatever they are. You don't know. You don't know. You're touching the old and the young. You don't know. Should you need a prophet to tell you? Should you need a soothsayer? Come on. Let it not be true. Let it not just be true. Let it not just be true, Apabio. Let it not just be true. You can't descend that low. You cannot descend that low. And if you did it, shame on you. If you did it, sorry for you. If you did it, nto. What according to Patrick Odiago, what a hinkans, what a parusa time. What? No. May I never be that poor. That after 8 years, no, it's not possible. It's not possible. Not after I've seen Natasha led credibly, led with integrity, led with passion and love for the people. No, the head of you cannot serve the people, and no, it's not possible now. And be that daft and poor and chicken-minded and temporal. God forbid it. And then Peter, I saw it as a cover that I'll hear manual or manual. We just talking about and what I really had and he had them or something. I go home, okay, I believe a woman. He can't do that. I don't want to believe I will collect 2 billion. No, everybody has a price, I know. Everybody, every human being has a price tag. But if 2 billion naira is the Abelo's price tag, is a shame. After 110 billion EFCC allegation, what? Even if you didn't carry that money, that they can relate you to that level of 110 billion naira, you should know you are a big man. Let's even EFCC lie. Let's assume EFCC even lied against you that you stole 110 billion. That makes you a big man. Remain as a big man. Self-esteem. Carry yourself. Be body. Value yourself. Apabio gave you 2 billion. You didn't slap and spit on him and record it and send it to us. That look at, you think I'm a bastard like you? You didn't tell Apabio like that. You collected 2 billion and come and fight Ibera people. You will be put to shame if it's true. Shame, disgrace, open disgrace.